welcome back to Is It Just Me? Where the podcast where we're going to be unraveling the most bizarre, head-scratching, and downright ridiculous moments in modern history. I'm Joe, your host, and today we're diving into a story that is so surreal and absurd that it feels like it was lifted straight from a political satire movie. But no, it's real life, and it's hilarious. So let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a group chat where you have no idea why you're at it, but you just kind of sit there lurking, watching the chaos unfold? Maybe you got thrown into an extended family chat where everyone's discussing an upcoming wedding and you're just nodding along despite not knowing half the people. Now imagine that, but the chat is a literal war room filled with people plotting political strategies, and one of the members is just a journalist who nobody notices. For hours. Yeah, you heard that right. Strap in, folks, because this one's a doozy. So let's set the stage here. Pete Hegseth, the Fox News personality, the guy with the very intense delivery and the equally intense hair, was apparently part of a group chat described as a war room. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear war room, I think of a shadowy government official like James Bond style intelligence and maybe a big screen with blinking lights and maps. But in reality, it was just a group chat, a regular everyday group chat. So, in this high-powered, very intense group chat, a journalist somehow got added. And instead of being, immediately removed, he just stayed quietly, listening, observing, like a fly on the digital wall. And nobody, not even a single person, not even Pete Hegseth himself noticed. You're probably wondering, Joe, how does something like this happen? Surely these people vet their group members, and to that point, I say you would think so. But apparently, the level of security here was about as tight as a high school friend group. Planning a road trip. Someone clearly fumbled added participant button, and boom, next thing you know, there's a Washington Post journalist sipping metaphorical tea and taking notes. Now, let's just take a second to imagine this poor journalist's experience. Picture this. You open your phone expecting the usual flood of emails, maybe some spam calls about your car's extended warranty, and then you realize you're in a war room group chat. A chat filled with major political operatives discussing behind the scenes strategy, and instead of freaking out or announcing your presence, you do what any self-respecting journalist would do. You stay quiet, gather information like a digital ninja. I mean, what was going on through this guy's head? Did he screenshot everything? Did he send messages to his fellow journalists like, guys, you will never believe this? Where am I right now? Did he even Maybe did he ever accidentally almost type LOL when somebody said something ridiculous? The possibilities are endless. Meanwhile, Pete Hegseth and his colleagues are carrying on fully confident information in their secrecy, completely oblivious to the fact that a literal reporter is right there, probably chuckling every time someone says this is strictly confidential, maybe freaking out. I don't know, probably freaking out. And the best part, this went on for a long time. Like, not a couple minutes or an hour. No. This is unchecked access to conversations that were supposed to be exclusive. It wasn't until someone else finally realized an outsider had been lurking the whole time that the situation came to light. And you know what? That must have been the most awkward group chat removal of all time. I can just picture the moment. Random group member. I'm just going to spill this out for you. Hey, who is this guy? Another member. You don't know him? Pete Hegseth is going, I thought you guys added this guy. Another group member. No, man, he's a journalist. The journalist goes, hey guys, thanks for all the great material. You've been a real big help. So that's my example of that. So just imagine the absolute panic that must have set in. Phones being thrown, calls being made. How did this happen? Who added him? They may be chilling out there saying that it's all queued up or whatever, but the finger pointing must have been next level. Meanwhile, the journalist is just sitting back, sipping a coffee, already halfway through drafting his article about the whole thing. Now, he didn't release it at first, but then eventually, when they denied it, he did. Now, the real question is, how does a mistake like this ever happen? I mean, let's be honest. Even my fantasy football league does a better job of vetting new members. This might be the funniest possibility. Did Pete Hegseth just assume the journalist was totally on board with everything and never thought to question it? And this is why you don't treat political strategy like a group project where half the team forgets who actually was supposed to be there. So the big takeaway here is, if you're organizing a so-called war room, maybe, just maybe, do a roll call. Verify who's in the room before you start spilling all your grand plans. Because if I, a man who once accidentally added my boss to a meme chat, can double check my members list, so can you. That's our show for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Is It Just Me?, where we unpacked the absolute weirdest moments in current events. Be sure to check your group chats. Stay vigilant. Don't just let a journalist waltz into your secret discussions unnoticed. Until next time, stay weird. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you later.